Hello, sixth graders. Today, our skill is going to be working on circle graphs. We're going to be finding percents of a whole. You'll be able to use a calculator today. And you know what? I want you to get a calculator while you're watching this video, and so you can understand what I'm doing while I'm doing it. It's going to make your math journal pages make a whole lot more sense. So we're going to be working with the Los Angeles Lakers. They just got done winning the NBA championship this year during a COVID year. So I want you to take a look and see how we're going to do this. So LeBron James made 9 baskets. He took 17 shots. So on my calculator, to get this percent over here, I have to do 9 divided by 17 to find out what decimal that is. So go ahead and do that on your calculator. Let's see if you can beat me before I write it on the board. Okay. And remember, when you're writing these things down, you're only writing down the 3 numbers that are after your decimal, just like I said in my last lesson. So my decimal is 0.529. Okay. This 9 is going to cause my 2 to become a 3. So I have 0.53 for the percent he made. So behind this LeBron James picture, my son would love this picture because he loves LeBron James, probably because I love LeBron James. I should have a 53 written down. Let's see what I have. I have a 53% written down. Next one, we have Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, on my calculator, I'm going 5 divided by 11 because he made 5 of his 11 shots. I get 0.454 as my 3 numbers after my decimal. Will this 4 cause this 5 to go up? It won't. So that means my percent behind Anthony Davis should be a 45%. It's a 45%. Rajon Rondo. He's point guard for the Lakers. He's not allowed to shoot much. He has 2 shots made. I'm dividing it by 6 because that's how many shots he took. I have this as a decimal on my calculator. Hopefully you do as well. 0.333. This third 3 is at 5 or larger. It isn't, so I'm keeping this at 0.33. So that means behind Rajon Rondo, I should have 33%, and I do. Kyle Kuzma. He's kind of like a black hole. That means whatever goes in never comes out. So if they pass him the ball, it looks like he doesn't pass back. He shot the ball 23 times, but he made quite a few of those. Let's see what his percentage was. 14 divided by 23 gives me 0.608 as my 3 numbers after the decimal. This 8 will cause this 0 to round up to 0.61. He shot 61%. It's a good thing he shot the ball so much because he was making a lot of baskets. Next on we have Dwight Howard. He shot 1, or he made 1, I apologize. He shot 2 baskets, so 1 divided by 2 gives us 0.5 as my decimal. I'm going to put another 0 here so I can convert it into a percent easily. That's 50%. Okay. Here's another one. We're buying some shoes. We got some yellow shoes, some blue shoes, some red shoes, and we got some black shoes. The total cost of all these shoes is $200.38. I want to know what percent of the total are yellow shoes. Well, yellow shoes are $19.19. So that means $19.19. Take $19.19 and you're going to put it over $201.38. So if I type this on my calculator, I'm going to type in, I want you to do this with me with a calculator, so press pause and find one if you don't have it. But we're going to go 19.19 divided by 201.38, and you are going to get a really long number, but you're going to write just the 3 numbers after the decimal. So you're going to get 0.095. So that means if I round this up to a 9, this would actually be to a 10 because the 5 is going to round the 9 to a 10. So I'm going to take this, make this a 0, make this a 1. So I have 0.10 after, so I should be at 10%. So yellow shoes, the cost was 10% of the total. So I want to see if you guys can beat me as I'm working these out. I'm going to do the next one with the blue shoes now. So how do I find the percent for the total with the blue shoes? I'm going to take $78.33. I'm going to put that over $200.38. I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm going to go ahead and divide these. 78.33. Remember, you're taking the numerator. You're going to divide that by the denominator, 201.38, and you're going to get 0.388. Those are my first three numbers after the decimal. This 8 right here is going to cause this 8 to round up to a 9. So you're going to get 0.39. So that means my percent for blue should be 39%, and it is 39%. Keep cruising along here. I want you to follow along, see if you understand what's going on. For red, it's 98.99. I'm going to divide that by 201.38. Let's see if we can estimate. 98.99 is almost 100, so we should be pretty close to 50%. Well, let's take a look. 98.99. I'm going to divide that by 201.38. My first three numbers after the decimal are 0.491. This 1 is not going to cause a 9 to round up, so I have 49%. Am I correct? 49 is correct. This last one, black shoes were only $4.87. So we're going to have a pretty small number. Let's see how small that number is. So I got 4.87 over $201.38. Let's do the math here. 4.87 divided by 201.38, and I've got 0.024. This 4 will not cause that 2 to round up, so I'm at 0.02, so my answer should be right around 2%, and it is. That's how you find the percent of a whole. Now we're going to be making some percent circles. These are really fun. So I'm going to put my percent circle. You have one of these on your templates right over that circle there. So you're wondering, how do I do this? Well, this is how you do it. So right away, you need to draw a starter line. And it looks just like this. That's my starter line, regardless of what you do. Now I have to have half this circle equal 50% for paper. Well, I just take a look here. I'm at 0. I'm going to go all the way around this percent circle till I get to the 50. And once I'm there, I'm going to draw a line across. I'm just going to go ahead and erase these other lines. Let's see how I did. 50%. I'm going to write paper here. And now is where I'm going to have to use my tech skills and see if I can do this. So I'm going to take this now. So I'm going to move this, and you can do this with your template, and I'm going to change my new 0 starting point is right here. Food and yard waste is 13%. So my 13% is between the right here, because it's pretty close to there. So I have 10, 11, 12, 13, right? And then I'm going to draw a line right to that spot. Let's see how I'm doing. So that is where my food and yard waste. So I'm just going to write food. I'm just going to write food in that spot. Okay, keep following along how I do this. So now I have my percent circle. I'm going to rotate this thing again. So my 0 is now at, this might be kind of tough to do on a computer here. I'm not doing too bad. Right at that spot, pretty close to this food spot. And my plastic is at 10. So I'm going to go all the way to the 10 and make a little tally right here at the 10. And I'm going to go ahead and connect. And I got to call this one plastic. Go ahead and move my percent circle again. So my 0 is now at the edge of this plastic, like so. Metal is 6%. So after the 5 would be my 6. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right there to the middle. I'm going to call this metal right there. And then 1% is, so that means my new spot will be right there. Oops. Doing this my best with a computer. 1% is glass. Make a little mark at the 1% mark, a little tiny sliver of a piece right like that. Be glass, and then all other, let's see if we're pretty close to 20%. Take a look here. I'm at 0 here, and I'm moving all the way over right to the 20%, and that will be labeled other. It's not too bad for doing this on the computer. So what I want to explain to you is when I'm making this percent circle, I start off with this line right here, and then I go around. This becomes my new line where I start my 0%, and then I read this way. Then this becomes my new line for my 0%. Then I read this way. Then this becomes my new line, 0%. Then this becomes my new line, then I read, and that becomes my new line, and then I read. And then I will have a perfect circle graph. Now we're going to do a little bit of multiplying fractions here, and with some cross reduce, just as a refresher, I have 5 over 6 times 14 over 1. Can I cross reduce? I can. I can divide both these by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 5 times 7 is 35. 3 times 1 is 3. I can't leave that as a huge improper fraction. How many 3's go into 35? 11 can go into 35. What's left over? 2/3. Let me check my work. 3 times 11 is 33, plus 2 is 35. I am correct. I love it when I'm right. Let's move on. 3 and 1/12 times 1 and 3/5. Remember when you're working with these, you have to change them to improper fractions. 3 times 2 is 12 times 3 is 36, plus 1 is 37 over 12. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8 over 5. Multiplying, I can cross reduce these. Luckily, this 12 and this 8 I can cross reduce. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. I know 3 times 5 for my bottom is 15. Now, for my denominator, I should say. 37 times 2. I got to work that out on the side. 7 times 2 is 14. 3 times 2, or 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 74. 74 over 15. Now keep watching, kids. How many 15s can go into 70? Well, I know 4 15s would equal 60. And for 60 to get to 74 would be 14. You're probably like, how did he do that? I'm going to show you how I did that. 15 times 4 is 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 60. 74 minus 60 is 14. That's my remainder. That's why I put it right there. 4 is my whole number. 15's right there. Perfect. That's how it's done. Next one, 25% of 2/6. You're probably wondering, how on earth are we going to solve this? Whoa, I'm moving this around. We'll take a look. Well, what's 25% as a fraction? It's 25 over 100. So you could just write it like that. 25 over 100 times 2/6. Let's see how we do. Let's cross reduce. 102. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 100 divided by 2 is 50. 25 times 1 is 25. 50 times 6 is 300. We can get these even smaller. Let's divide them down. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 300 divided by 25 equals what? Well, there's 4 25s in 100. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 would be 12. Your answer is 1/12. Well, I'm going to show you an even faster way. 25 over 100 also means 1/4. 1/4 times 2/6. If we cross reduce, this would be 2, and this would be a 1, because 2 divided by, so we're cross reducing that. So 1/4 times 2/6, I'm cross reducing the 2 and the 4. So it's 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 6 is 12. That's another way to solve it. A little easier way. 40 over 100. Let's reduce this down. Times 3/8. We can reduce 40 over 100 down to 4/10. We can reduce it even more, but let's keep it at 4/10. 4/10 times 3/8. You're going to see some problems with percents of a number today, so you're going to have to know how to put the percent into a fraction. Let's cross reduce. So 4 and 8, I can divide 4 divided by 4 and get 1. 8 divided by 4, I get 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 10 times 2 is 20. Your answer is 3/20. Now that is how you make a circle graph, and that is how you find the percent of a fraction. Hopefully this helps, kids. Sorry the video got a little long, but you know what? Your math journal pages are going to be a little tricky today if you don't follow the instructions on this video. Good luck, and I look forward to working with you in math today.